This comes with neck pains, back pains, double bills, and so much more stress, bro. What's up, Royalty Squad? Welcome back to another video.
If you guys are new here, hit that subscribe button right now. We are super close to 3K subscribers. Like, y'all, literally, we need y'all to get us there, okay?
If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Ronaldo.
My name is...
This is my wife,
Jamelia. Today we're going to be talking about everything pertaining to entrepreneurship. All the things that no one tells you. Yes, it comes with a lot of good. We would never say it doesn't come with a lot of good. But with everything in life, there's the good and then there's the bad. And today we're going to be talking about like the real life struggles. And most importantly, we are married, guys. So we're not just entrepreneurs. We are married entrepreneurs. So this is a household of not one, but two entrepreneurs.
And we live in a world where in 2026, no one likes to talk about the bad in anything. They just show you the good and give you a false impression. That way, when you step into the field or step into whatever it is, you get hit with a whole flashbang.
Yeah. And we plan to be 100% authentic. I mean, we have grown on this channel from kids dating to married. Like, y'all have seen us through every chapter. And this is if you have already been a part of the family. And we plan to just be real through every chapter of our lives. So let's get straight into it.
Okay, so the first point is the reputation in being an entrepreneur, especially in the service providing industry.
Yeah.
Like, I've been cutting hair from 11, but working in a barbershop from 14 years old. So it gets so exhausting repeating. Like, you repeat conversations, you repeat the same actions, and it's so damaging for your brain because one thing with barbering in specific is like your brain doesn't know if you're tired or not because you're not running about, you're not picking up heavy things. So it's like it doesn't know if you're hungry, if you're tired, because you just making small movement, walking around the chair. You know, it's like you're not doing a lot of physical, like hard labor. So like sometimes you could not know if you're hungry or not, and you could mistreat your body because
like neglect yourself accidentally.
Yes.
Because you're so busy servicing others.
Yes. And it's very draining, especially when you don't have a break. Because it's like, if you do 12 people, you having the same conversations with 12 people, well, asking the same questions, how's your week going, any plans, etc., etc. And it's so draining sometimes, especially when you're doing it back to back. And 1 year ago when we were at our commercial spot, that was like a grinding year. So that was we ain't even took a vacation yet. So that's very, very,
God
very,
willing,
very
y'all,
exhausting.
the next trip y'all see we taking is going to be the best. Yeah.
It's well deserved.
Yeah. Okay. So my husband's point honestly brings us right here, which is what I'm going to be talking about: sacrifices. So being entrepreneurs, it takes a lot of sacrifices. So for example, you're sacrificing 8 hours of your day doing services. So you're not only just some days look different. Like some days we might be at the computer doing different things, editing our content, putting together at the camera, putting different shots, or we might be servicing our clients all day long. So it's like you're either sacrificing your entire day doing a bunch of editing or shooting, or you're doing a mixture of both, actually working, stopping in between, getting the shot, getting the angle, while also making sure your client is happy and having a good conversation with them, while also making sure they're comfortable with, I guess, the camera. And there's a lot to consider. This reemphasizes my point, which I am basically saying entrepreneurship comes with a lot of sacrifices. So all of these hours that you're sacrificing in your day, that takes from time that we can be spending with each other. And if we had a little one, you know, that would be taken away from time that we could be spending with our little one. It takes away from date nights if you let it. You know, y'all, we have God, we have Him on our side, and He guides us. So we know how to put certain things in place. But there was times in our lives where things became so hard that it became impossible to actually not sacrifice. Like, you had no choice but to sacrifice. Automatically, we were like, if I was in a store and I saw this bag, I was like, let me not get this bag. Even though I really like it, I would be like, even if I worked all day too, and I was like, I really like this bag, I feel like I deserve it. And then there's this voice, ooh, maybe you should like not get this right now, just for the sake of the business. What if you might need this for the business or classes or so entrepreneurship comes with a lot of sacrifices, especially depending on kind of how your cars are laid out. We had to make a lot of sacrifices when we were in our commercial space because of many different things. We don't want to talk too much about that, but I just wanted to let you guys know there was a lot of pros and lots of cons.
Okay, so point number 3, balancing business life or the business and then your marriage at the same time. Because whatever stresses you have from business, from other people, whatever, it affects your wife, it affects your husband. So balancing the toll that it plays on your mind in the business when you're dealing with all of this crap, stress. You got to pay bills at home, bills at work. You got to deal with people at home that outsiders. You got some customers that their energy is bad. Some people just they're like their whole aim coming to service you was to just ruin your day. Some people are like that. So it's like the people that intentionally stress you out, just dealing with everything, it just affects your personal life. So you gotta like really manage how you respond to your partner, how you plan. Like when you're stressful, you shut down. So it's like if I'm dealing with so much stress, and I know we normally go to date nights on Friday or Saturdays, like stress will make you just want to lay down in bed all day, and it's like that can't work. So it's like you really got to balance that.
And
so,
just to add to what he was saying too, not to cut you off, but you said a point that really stood out to me when you said you might be at work all day and you may have, don't get us wrong, y'all, like this is just from a general point of view, but there are people like that for real, that their objective is just to come and just solely stress you or make your day a lot more exhausting. So the thing is, when he said that, he said that there are people like that, and then you also have to separate that from your marriage. I want y'all to understand, it is so easy to be at work and someone is telling you a bunch of foolishness, and you're just keeping your professional demeanor to them, you know, because you're like, you know what, this is my brand. This is who I am. This is what my brand represents. I can't just go and be on their level, let them know very professionally. We're never servicing you again or whatever the case is. God bless and be safe. Okay? But apart from that, when you actually are in your comfortable space now, you come home after work, you had a long day, you have to actually process those emotions, because I feel it's very easy for people to forget that service providers are actually human too.
Correct.
So it might be easier to just be like, no, very professionally handle this situation and we keep it pushing. He still, and I still, we both still have to come home after a day like that or encounter like that and still say, okay, this is how I feel. I had a tough day. This person right out pissed me off. I told y'all, we're going to be real in this video. This person downright pissed me off. And just because you're Christian doesn't mean you're a robot. You know, you have feelings, you have anger, you have emotions. I mean, even Jesus in the word, he was literally angry. He said, be angry and do not sin, you know? So it's like to come home and you still have to process those emotions while also still being a husband or a wife. That is a lot. And that's something you can't get through without planning and teamwork and God at the center.
Correct. So y'all can take this quote. This is a Ronaldo original that just keeps anything not let out is built up. You know, if you don't let it out, it's going to keep building and it's going to keep building and you're going to eventually pop.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got to be careful. So, how you let it out, talking about it, you know, sometimes us men, we don't like to talk about nothing, but really and truly, it's building.
Yeah, you have to
got to talk about it, although it seems a little cringe or whatever. Men don't want to express their emotions. You're still a human being, bro. You're still a human. So, express your emotions, talk about it with your wife. Because if you don't talk about it, although you could go on and forget about it easily by gaming or watching TV, something, it's still there.
Yeah.
So,
okay, love that.
Okay, so point 4, appointment systems. This topic is appointment systems, operating with appointment systems, the pros and the cons. So when you're doing walk-ins, people gotta sit down and wait for however long because they're walking in. But however, when you set up an appointment system, although it is free of charge, and
Yeah,
it's
well,
just to
free
keep
of charge from them.
for
But
them,
remember,
but we
as
gotta
us
pay for that.
entrepreneurs, we pay for that to allow for the luxury
Yes,
or
of
the
organization. So with the pros and the cons, the pros are, you can schedule your lunchtime, you could schedule pop in and pop out times, but the cons are when you are behind time and it's out of your control. Like, we're gonna be real here. If I ate something bad the previous night and I gotta go to the toilet and I'm in there for 20 minutes, my whole day is set back by 20 minutes, and we don't have no front desk person to be messaging clients and all that. So that's a lot of work, especially when you're trying to stay on time. So
yeah.
the cons are you got to deal with a lot of people that be over here like tapping their foot, moving all impatient,
sighing that those deep sighs.
Yeah,
they're all over here. You,
yeah. There's a lot of pressure trying to run on time. Like, even doctors, if you set a trip appointment at a doctor office, you really not get in trouble.
I can't see my doctor at on time app.
Correct.
It has to be an emergency, but for like a regular general, like something minor has happened.
Yes.
I ain't seeing my doctor no time soon.
Yes. And the amount of people, I believe all service providers, when they switch an appointment system, it also reduces the amount of clients that they do, because it's like, you want to constantly focus on being on time. So you would even create bigger time slots while you're not raising the value. Like in Barbados, we live in a place where people are so cheap. Like, they don't want to pay. Like, it's easy if, let's say you're doing a $30 service, it's easy to make take your appointment time frame from an hour to like an hour and 30 minutes if you're going to raise the price a little bit so that, it'll be worth your time. But people will have an issue with that in Barbados. So it's like, it's much more difficult, because when you expand the time frame so that people can have more space in case there's any backups, is like, you're still charging the same prices. So really and truly, you cutting back and it's affecting yourself. But meanwhile, with walk-ins, let's say the appointment system, you do 8 people with walk-ins. If 16 people come and sit down inside, you're going to get that pushed off with less pressure, because it's like, they know what they're coming for. They know that there's no system. It's whoever came in order, you're going to service them that way. So, but obviously the cons about the walk-in system is that when you see somebody waiting for 3 and 4 hours, you don't want to stop and take lunch because you know how long this person has been waiting. So that is a very big con of the walk-in system. So overall, the only thing that I can see solving that is being able to charge more, where that's very difficult in Barbados.
Overseas,
and giving wider time slots. So those are the pros and the cons and the stresses that come with having an appointment system.
So let me just add here. So for me, I would say I don't normally, so my services take a very long time. So I have more flexibility time-wise. However, if anyone is late, like extremely late, because my services are so intricate and it takes such careful time and movements, repetition to create, beautiful sets. If someone is late, like really late, it's like it pushes back the rest of the day. So that's why like certain cancellation policies have to be in place. Like, you don't have a choice. Sometimes it's really hard to re-emphasize it because it's like you kind of feel guilty, because it's like you consider, oh my gosh, well, this person is traveling this week or shit. Because guys, I want y'all to understand, you get to know things about clientele over time, especially if they're regular, or even if it's a stranger that booked for their first time. They could easily put traveling to this person, to this place. This is the reason for my appointment. They could leave a message in the booking system. Different booking systems are different, but there's a lot to consider. You consider people's feelings. There's a lot in entrepreneurship. And also, when he was giving y'all the example of having to stop and use the bathroom, we can't control like when our stomach is in a boom. We're just human. Entrepreneurs are service providers are not slaves. They still have things going on with them. And even for me, if it's that time of the month, it's much slower. Like the movements, it's just much slower. You slow down. It's like you can't do anything about it. So Yeah. On to our
Last point.
Our last point. How mismanagement can cause you to operate at a loss. And I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs, if you are here right now,
While
you
working
need
harder as well.
while working harder. You need to stay, because there's so much that we have learned that it will benefit you. And I'm talking about you. Yes, you. I see you, the one that has been working hard all this time and you can't see the fruits of your labor. Or you're working hard all this time and you can't see that new chair or bed or new setup that you've been dreaming of, because it's just mismanagement. So we went through a season of mismanagement, and I'm not talking about let's go on a trip. Yeah. I'm not talking about our childhood, our free days where we could just live our. Even so, we were okay. We were kids. But in adulthood, I don't want to call. I still want to call it mismanagement, because it is. But it's simply mismanagement because of faith, and that's so different from mismanagement because of carelessness. So we went through a time where we truly saw signs that a team was hard to find, a team to meet the expectations, or not only expectations, standards. That's most important. A team that met the standards that we were looking for. That was very hard. That was actually quite impossible. And we kept holding on because we were like, God is going to work this out. God, don't get me wrong, God did work it out, but not the way that we envisioned. But we were like, God is going to work this out the way we envisioned it. I'll let him take it from here.
Okay, so this is for the people that have faith in God, as we talk about this management, right? So we're not going to go into religion or anything like that. We're just speaking about faith in God, right? Having faith in God could make us say God will provide when it comes to the difficult parts that require thinking, right? So that is what we would have done, because we would have had an idea of what we thought God was going to do for us with the business. So, but anyone who really knows God knows that He loves people that manage, and He can't add to you if you are not managing. Because why would He give you more if you're not managing?
Correct.
The one thing that He has given to you already, right? So
Correct.
we were at a stage in our relationship with God where we were still having blind faith, kind of like working out that relationship for yourself. Because, online, when you see videos online, people are always like, God is going to provide, God is going to do this, God is going to do that.
Or this is your season.
Yes.
This is your sign. Yeah.
But realistically, God operates through man. He does everything on earth through man. There's no one on earth with a story of money falling from heaven. There's no one on earth with any kind of story of money just appearing. It does not work like that. He either uses you to provide for someone else, or he uses someone else to provide for you. In our case, we don't want to be at the mercy of people. So that season taught us that God is not just going to send this imaginary, that person that fully fits what you're looking for.
Our people, because we need people.
He ain't going to do that. So it taught us management, like planning. Don't ignore and say God is going to do this just because it seems hard to think about. Yeah. So it taught us sitting down, projecting the future. If this doesn't happen, what is going to happen? If we don't do this, what's going to happen? We had to face all of the hard things and come to a conclusion, because I believe what makes people stuck is running away from the obvious conclusion of what you're doing, where it's going to put you, and just saying God is going to provide. We could have been stuck in that, and right now we would have still been at that business at a loss.
Well, at that commercial space,
at that commercial spot that we were at a loss, forever saying God is going to provide. God is going to provide. And then
how much longer would I have to wait for little Jamelia or little Ronaldo?
Yes.
So I said that to me. That's my camera for y'all. Look at him.
So mismanagement, it also puts you in a state of desperation. So you're gonna if it's the worst person that comes that in the business, and you're maybe I should give them a chance, you're gonna take on so much crap that you would not normally tolerate in any other circumstance. So mismanagement is a whole sinkhole. you're gonna make yourself look so stupid.
Yep. So
And the worst part about this is that God will never, He will never tell you like the way you're expecting it. All right, bro, you're mismanaging. You gotta work on this. He's not gonna tell you that. He wants you to use your free will. He gives it to you for a reason. So if you're gonna be stuck, then that's why people are stuck for 40 years. And that's the hard truth that no one wants that knowledge. So it teaches us the most important thing actually, management. Because management, it literally covers everything we mentioned in the video. It covers discipline, taking care of your body, lunch breaks, the whole appointment system, everything. So all of this falls under the category of management, y'all. So management was the biggest thing.
So this brings us to the big question. Is entrepreneurship worth it? And this is what we're going to be using to tie together everything. Now, I consider myself an entrepreneur baby compared to my husband. So I want to hear his opinion on this. I know he's going to have a really informative opinion, so take over.
Okay, so in life, I ain't trying to go deep.
Babe.
I ain't trying to go deep.
They just want to
No, I gotta tell them, but I ain't trying to go deep in life. Listen. You say you're gonna get something informative, so listen. Okay? In life, we often have the wrong definitions for names. So we have a lot of misconceptions on what stuff means when it doesn't mean that. So our definition of an entrepreneur is you work for yourself, make money for yourself. You don't got to work for somebody, but that is not an entrepreneur. A lot of people stay stuck because they have a skill and they serve others with it without sharing the skill itself. So entrepreneurship is really managing people, right? And without management skills, we're not really entrepreneurs. We're just working hard. We're just hard workers for ourselves. So entrepreneurship is worth it only when you have a system, a managed system, where you could keep everything in control and you're not just doing craziness. So is it worth it? It's worth it once you do it the right way. But if you come with no management or plans, it ain't worth it because you're going to break your body. And that's a real thing. They're going to get someone else to service. It doesn't have to be as good as you.
They're going to go to another service provider, guys. This is the truth.
So is entrepreneurship worth it to you?
So, to me, entrepreneurship is worth it if you use all the years or months or weeks of profit that your body or your mind, it has to be your body worked and labored for. You use the funds for that to pour it into something that can give you financial freedom in the future. It is not worth it if you see yourself as an entrepreneur for the next 30 years or 40 years or 50 years, because you know why? I'm using the wrong word, as a service provider. Because as a service provider, regardless of how sweet the money looks to you or how much money you can make in one day, the reality of it is every time you're doing that task, your body is counting it as debt. So your body is saying, I'm going to allow her to do these clients for the next 10 years. But at a certain time, this hand can start to tax me, or this something else is going to start to happen, and your body or your mind or your eyes, it could be so many different things. And it's like, if you wait until that time comes when you can no longer, like your body says, enough is enough, you're going to be looking, you're going to be like, God, why you allow this to happen? And this and that. But the truth is, what wasn't basic knowledge to us a few years ago is not basic knowledge to a lot of people out there. And that's why we're here. And that's why God allowed us to go through so much different lessons, and we've gained so much growth between now and all the mismanagement and all the gains and all the losses. We had lots of wins, y'all. Don't get us wrong. We've had lots of wins, but we have also taken a lot of loss. And entrepreneurship is 100% worth it with, like my husband said, if you have a plan in place. And like I'm saying, put that plan in place, have savings, put some money down for investments, have insurance policies, like actually put things in place, because you don't want to be 30 something years old or 40 something years old and you got a mortgage to pay. You doing lashes or you doing nails and your hands started hurt you to the point where you can't work no more. Yeah, the money was sweet at that time. You had sweet money every single day or you was pushing your body. And now you can't even function to wash dishes. You can't function to, and y'all, we don't mean to sound sad or somber, but this is the real conversation that a lot of people don't have. A lot of people have children and they don't tell their children or our cousins, our friends, our business partners, if you go this way, it could hurt you. So now it leads you kind of at the mercy of, oh my gosh, I'd rather not work for someone and just have my free will and just make this good money every single day. And then what? And then what? That's the question. And then what after that? How long can you do that? You might be the best. You might be the best at doing nails, lashes, hair cutting, braiding. But for how long?
Yep. And then if you don't share your gift, you're going to be the best that ever was that died and no one knows about you, but your clients. And you're not going to reach that far. But God didn't create us to be just doing one thing. Like, even in the beginning, God made so much trees in the garden and he told Adam, tend to that garden. He didn't give him one tree and said, tend to this. You're not supposed to just be focusing on one tree. He said, be fruitful and multiply. You're supposed to have many other things. Just keep progressing, dominating. So God didn't make us to just be doing one thing for an extremely long period of time. Like, when he put Adam in the garden, there were multiple trees, like unlimited different kinds of trees, and his job was to tend to all of that. When you do one thing for a long period of time, just one tree, if he was to focus on one tree for the rest of his life, that's not what God wants us to do. He wants you to continue to grow and seek knowledge, because you have to have knowledge to deal with each different tree. You know, every tree is not the same. So what happens with a lot of people is when they're stuck in one field for so long, they feel like they become so good. It's like you closed off to all these other things, and you're not even knowledgeable in those other things. So what I would say overall, seek knowledge, seek wisdom, and just continue to be creative and grow. You know, ask questions. Don't be stuck. If you know you're struggling, don't ignore the hard questions and the hard conclusions. You know, anything you want to say to close it off?
Nope.
So, if you guys enjoyed that video, be sure to leave a like, hit the subscribe button once again.
Yep.
Leave a comment.
Because if we don't get to 3K subscribers, I think I'm just going to run away.
Anyways, leave a comment if y'all have any video ideas. We'll be glad to do them. But we
are